Very well said.
Yeah, it's life after IVF.
All right, y'all. So we finally set aside some time to discuss our infertility story, our journey. Yeah, we've been wanting to share it with y'all for a minute. We just really didn't have the time to kind of sit down together and tell y'all how everything happened. So this is our YouTube video, and we are sharing our infertility journey.
So we're gonna start out by proposing.
July 1st, 2017, my husband proposed to me on July 1st on my birthday.
And after we got engaged, we decided that, well, we've been looking for a house since May, but we kind of buckled down and really considered, moving out of an apartment, developing roots. So,
and our apartments was ghetto, so we really had to go.
That part.
We had to go.
Yeah, so then, September, then we decided to start planning for our reception.
Right. So we were in the process of looking for a home, and we were really picky. So it took us a really long time to find what we wanted. And then the market was a little bit weird too. So we kind of got discouraged. So we were like, let's go ahead and get married and have like a small reception with family and friends, just to celebrate, our union, us getting married. In the midst of doing all of that, in November of 2017, I missed my cycle, and so we found out we was pregnant in November. And for all y'all doing the math, honey, we did not get married because we was already engaged in July, and we had our first unsuccessful pregnancy in November of 2017. So the morning that I found out I was pregnant, I woke up trying to go to work in a lot of pain, and I was in so much pain I couldn't even stand up. And I was still trying to go to work, and my husband was like, no.
Yeah, this girl told me she's going to work in pain, but this is the toughest person I ever met. We tried to call 911. She didn't want to go, so we ended up going to the urgent care. We did the pregnancy test and said she was pregnant. Well, the doctor came back and said, congratulations, you're pregnant. That's just growing pains. And I'm like, well, I don't think you're supposed to be in that much pain with growing pains, but
he gave me some pain medicine and then sent me on my way and told me to follow up with my OBGYN. Literally, by the time I left there, got home, I would say maybe it was like an hour, and I was in excruciating pain. Like, the reason why I went, that I was in the same amount of pain like an hour after I left the urgent care. So I was in between OBGYNs because I'm very picky, and if I don't like you, I'm not coming back. So I was like, I had an OBGYN, but I was in the process of looking for somebody else, and I really didn't want to return to the old one. So then my husband got on the phone, and started calling around trying to find any OBGYN with an open appointment. We found an OBGYN. She told me that we were pregnant, which is what they told us at the urgent care, but she said that we were having an ectopic pregnancy. And so, that's why it was so painful. She gave me methotrexate to terminate the pregnancy. She said it would take 5 days, and by day three something should happen, but it could take up to 5 days, like, to pass. And then on day 5, all hell broke loose. I passed it successfully, and we moved on to the next step.
This time, so this is November, so December we had our celebration, our wedding celebration. We was going through, no one knew. No one in the family knew, friends, family, no one. We was able to get married. We had our reception, holding our saving face.
Saving face.
Yeah, but at the same time, struggling internally.
Yeah. We have our wedding reception, party, celebration, whatever you want to call it. We have our photos above our bed, and a lot of times I look at those photos and the very first thing that comes to my mind is how much I was struggling. I still had like methotrexate in my system. I really wasn't even clear to drink. And then also like in my photos, I feel like I look sick. Like my eyes are like dark, a little bit sunken in. I'm very skinny. I was a little bit skinny.
You look good though.
I looked all right, but your girl was sick for sure. And, you know, we just have been through a lot. So those photos are bittersweet because there's a lot of beauty in it. There's a lot of happiness in it, but there is also a lot of pain. But like he said, you know, we kind of saved face. We showed up and nobody knew nothing and we had a great time. Okay, so summer 2018. Summer 2018. I don't remember the month because it's been a lot, y'all. But summer 2018, we decided to try again because we only had one unsuccessful pregnancy. So we decided to try again on our own. And we were successful. We got pregnant again. And at 5 weeks, we found out I had miscarried. So it was not an ectopic pregnancy. It was a miscarriage. And then our first ectopic pregnancy was at 5 weeks as well. So 2 early miscarriages or early unsuccessful pregnancies by summer of 2018.
Yes.
Yeah. So by the time we had 2 unsuccessful pregnancies, I was feeling like it might have been due to like my job, the stress on my job. Yeah, because at that time I was working for licensing. I was working for the state and it was a very demanding job. And then on top of that, I'm just naturally a really hard worker. So I was doing a lot and I felt like, well, maybe let me change my job. Let me do something a little less stressful and just kind of chill out a little bit and hope for the best. So I did change my job. I started working at a Head Start school in a more chill environment just to kind of see if that would help with the miscarriage situation.
So in the midst of everything, you know, actively, pursuing the fertility journey.
We got our house.
Right. One thing they put it on pause. Claudine tore ACL.
I did. I tore my ACL, full tear. And the crazy part, a lot of people ask how I tore it, and that's not what this video is about, but I was at my in-laws' house and we decided to have a family foot race down the street, child. And the reason why this is actually relevant is because I had 2 unsuccessful pregnancies. So I kind of chilled out on working out, exercise. I hadn't done anything for like probably almost a year maybe. So when I decided to do that foot race, that was the stupidest thing that I ever did because my body was not ready for that. And I did it and I tore my ACL full tear. And that took a few months after I tore it, I had to get surgery because everybody kept telling me nothing was wrong with my knee. And by everybody, I mean medical professionals. And I'm like, no, something is wrong with my knee. So by the time I got somebody to believe me and I had to beg for an MRI, it was 2 months later and I got my surgery in December. I tore my ACL in October of 2018.
Right.
And then I got surgery in December 30th, 31st. Right before the first of the year, I got my surgery. And that took many months of recovery, like 7 to 8 months. So that really threw us out of the infertility game for a good hot minute.
So this is throwing us out in 2019. So like you said, all recovery, all beginning of 2019, but to summer, right around the summertime when she was actually released from physical therapy. Then we decided, we prayed about it to start the journey all over again. So
all over again, round three. Fast forward to 2020, we had another ectopic pregnancy. This one was really scary because the first one was scary too. I mean, I could have died. The doctor said if he didn't bring me to the doctor's office, I probably would have died. So he literally saved my life because I was being stubborn. But this time around was scary too because they gave me the methotrexate to terminate the pregnancy, and the shit didn't work.
Well, the first time, it didn't work.
It didn't work the first time. They were just really concerned about what would happen next. Because you don't want your tube to rupture, is what I hear.
Yeah, so if it ruptures, then, you can bleed out, internal bleeding, because it gets stuck. So
blood transfusions, like it's a really, really serious thing. So I knew it was bad when the doctor was nervous. So she gave me, I had to do the first dose of methotrexate and wait it out, and it did not work. So I came in for a second round of methotrexate, and then that one worked. But it took like close to it's supposed to work about that 3 to 5 day mark, and it was towards the end where it actually worked. So at that point, the doctor told us that we should never try on our own. And really at that point, I felt like we cannot try this again on our own. Around this time, I joined the infertility ministry at Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church. And that was like a blessing. I think because we had not talked to anybody about what we were going through. And it just gave us a really safe space to, not only talk about our journey, but it gave us resources, pointed us in the right direction to where we needed to be.
And then too, once you go through traumatic things, if you guys have been through things, you feel like you're alone. So you go to spaces and you see, like, I'm not alone. We have others that share the same journey that we experiencing, or it's just good to hear that you're not by yourself.
Infertility can be a little bit embarrassing, right? Because I feel like in black and brown communities, people think that, black women is fertile, black men is, just having kids out here in these streets. And sometimes that is, the case, and it's really easy for some people. But what we also realize is that in our community, a lot of people are not talking about it. The infertility ministry at Wheeler just blessed our lives, like as a couple. We both were able to go, and that opened up the opportunity for us to find our infertility specialist. So our doctor that we are currently with now, she was referred to us through the infertility ministry, and she has been absolutely amazing. She has been very thorough, I think. Like, we both learned a lot about our bodies during the midst of this. Just to be 100% honest, the infertility issue is mine. But we went to a lot of doctors, or whatever, and I feel like they didn't tell us like half the stuff that we were told by our current doctor. Some people may say that it is because, oftentimes black women or black people are not given the quality of care that they deserve. And I don't know if that was it, but I will say that she was my first black doctor, and the amount of information and the quality of care that I got from this woman, it was different.
We had one doctor that was surgery happy. They were just surgery. So when we found the fertility specialist, they was more taking a slower approach, and that kind of resonated with us and was like, okay, made us feel comfortable enough instead of just going from 0 to surgery.
Yeah. And like when I tore my ACL, that was the first surgery I ever had in my life. So I definitely went in with a bang. But I'm not eager to be put to sleep and all of that. Now, once we found our doctor that we're with now, we were able to just gain a lot of knowledge about ourselves, about our bodies. Like, I think as women, you think you may know about your body. Even as men, I think men think they may know about like a female body or even their own bodies. Like, you learn so much through the infertility process about the human body itself and how complicated and amazing it is. There's a lot of things in the male body and female body that have to align perfectly for a successful pregnancy to take place. So I think that was one of our biggest takeaways in this whole process, is just learning more about the human body, and I guess closing the idea that having children is just so easy and so natural, because it's really not. Even people who have children all the time and naturally, things still have to align perfectly for that person to actually like bring life into the world. So it's just a blessing to be able to do that. And then at this point, we felt very comfortable with our doctor. We felt confident with her work and how knowledgeable she was, her professionalism, and we felt like she was the one. And so we decided to move forward with her in every way. We still are with her today, and it is 2024. So we had to discuss amongst ourselves what we thought would be best for us, and then also discussing with our doctor what she thought would be best for us. And so after meeting our doctor, we went through one round of IUI. Yes, which is I don't know what it's standing for. That was unsuccessful, right? And then from that point, we decided to move forward with IVF because our doctor did not want us to waste money, and more money on IUIs, and they may not be successful. So she recommended moving forward with IVF because the chances of success were higher. That is where we are now. We have done two rounds of IVF, and they have both been unsuccessful, and it has been rough. It has been very expensive, but we still in the game. However, we are wrapping up this chapter of our lives very soon.
Right.
So we had our most recent miscarriage in December, and it was at 6 weeks. So we made it one more week than we usually make it. So we made it to 6 weeks, and there was not a fetal pulse or heartbeat. So they had to terminate that.
Well, we just came out of the transfer. Anything you want to tell the people? She did great. So like you said, we're wrapping it up. In the beginning of this journey, we set out a plan, a goal. And one of the things we talked about, this is not going to break us financially, spiritually, mentally, and everything has a stopping point. So we're running to our end point, whether it's successful or not. We'll be okay with it, and we'll just move forward. However that God see fit for us to move forward with it.
Because I'll say this though, I don't feel like we are giving up. So if you are on this journey and you come to a stopping point, it doesn't mean that you've given up. I don't think we've given up. I think that we fought as hard as we could fight. We have been through a lot. I've been through a lot of procedures. We've both been through a lot of like, just emotional stuff and grief, because no matter what, grief is part of this journey, the journey of infertility. Like if you are able to get pregnant, and every child that you lose is like reopening a wound. So we've been on this journey for 7 years, and that's a really long time, to just be on such a difficult journey. So it's not us giving up, it's just us accepting what is for us, and then also understanding our limitations and letting other people know, too, that there are limitations when it comes to your infertility journey and how long you can fight and how much you can fight. There is financial limitations. We do want to do a video about like the financial part of it. So we won't be telling all of our business, but we will be really open about like what it costs, what that looks like. And oftentimes, just 100% honest, infertility is, the average person cannot afford infertility treatments like whatsoever. There's also the physical limitations. It is extremely
harsh on the body.
Harsh on my body. My husband was there every step of the way, and we do want to do another YouTube video as well about how you can support your spouse during the infertility process. But it was a lot. It was a lot of long days for him, caring for me, and then also dealing with the emotional end of it. And then it was a lot of hard days for me, dealing with the actual physical pain and all of the medications I was pumping into my body and injecting into my body. My hair was falling out. It's a lot. And just because you reach your limit does not mean you're giving up. And I wouldn't even say that we've reached our limit. It's kind of like we just know how important it is to continue to take care of ourselves and continue to be mindful about our finances and be financially responsible. And then most importantly, accepting God's will for our lives.
Also realizing that it's life after IVF.
Yes.
So we have...
very well said.
Yeah, it's life after IVF. So for any of you that's going through this journey without a partner, I would just say find you a support system, whether it's a parent, whether it's a sibling, whether it's a cousin. Even though if you want to be like us and don't let a lot of people in your business, just find somebody. You'll need somebody to lean on, somebody to talk to, somebody to cry to, because you're going to go through all stages of emotions. We had each other. Like I said, I don't know.
And the infertility ministry.
And in the ministry. But you can't do it alone. You need someone to talk to.
In the 7-year journey, there will be, here and there we might mention things. But when we decided to tell everybody, I think we were very surprised.
Of the reactions.
Some, nobody was mad, but, people were like, you could have come to me, y'all could have said something, but it was just us trying to keep it close to us. And I often believe that when you are in certain seasons and you are praying and meditating and expecting something from God, I think that the less outside influence and things like that, just it keeps your heart, your mind, your body, your soul open to hear what God has for you. So, yeah, this is the end of the journey, and we will be taking y'all along on that journey. And no matter what happens, like I said, there's life before IVF and infertility. There's life after infertility. And we're still so grateful and blessed. And yeah. So, you got anything else?
No,
It's a wrap. It's our first YouTube video together. And like I said, we're both excited to share our infertility journey. We hope that it would help many people, which is why we decided to share in the first place. So y'all stay tuned. There will be more infertility Stories here on YouTube. I am at Claudine Texada here on YouTube and at All Things Claudine on Instagram and TikTok. So feel free to follow me on those platforms and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. We'll see y'all next time for the next YouTube video. And until then, y'all be good, be blessed.